Hey, what is going on, guys? Potato Card here, coming back to you guys with another great tutorial video, this time on Lantia. So in our last tutorial video, guys, I went ahead and explained how to make the LEHS Mark III suit, something that is not really necessary in order for you to go to Lantia, but it's definitely necessary if you want to explore Lantia. I'll be going over the difference here in a second, but getting to Lantia is not easy. It is probably the hardest thing you can do in Namalsk, Dayz Namalsk, other than making the LEHS Mark III suit. But if you guys manage to make the suit, I can guarantee you'll be able to make it to Lantia. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with what you need in order to get to Lantia. Alrighty, guys, so the fourth thing... Oh. God. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of this guy. By the way, it's not like I eradicated all the zombies here before I started recording. Look at all these fucking zombies I killed. Look at all them. I went over here and I started shooting off a bunch of rounds to attract all the zombies here. And I went ahead and spray. I even killed some wolves. Look at the fucking wolves, dude. I got attacked by wolves too. Wolves and zombies, man. I attacked all. I killed them all. Right? And there's still zombies here. Can you believe that? What the fuck? They respawned? Oh my god, bro. Okay, I literally murdered so many zombies. Alright, I'm recording somewhere else. Alrighty, guys, so the things you need in order to get to Lantia are a little bit confusing to understand, but I'll try and explain it to the best of my abilities. Now, technically, the only thing you need to get to Lantia are these two items right here. Your NAC access card and your Lantia Pulsar locator. These are the only two items you need in order to get to Lantia. But if you decide to go this route and only use these two items, you will only be able to stay in Lantia for a total of 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Now you can extend that time with the EMAC flow controller. If you decide to use the EMAC flow controller in conjunction with these two materials, the NAC access card and the Pulsar locator, you get to stay in Lantia for a total of 3 minutes and I believe 5 seconds? Pretty sure 3 minutes and 5 seconds. But let's say you want to go even further than that. Let's say you want to stay longer in Lantia. Then instead of using the EMAC flow controller, you can instead use the EMAC phased flow controller. Using this will allow you to stay in Lantia for a total of 7 minutes and 15 seconds. But there is a downside to using this EMAC flow controller, and I have a way of actually staying in Lantia for however long as you want, and I'll make sure to show you guys how to do that. But you notice that the LEHS Mark III suit isn't among one of the items. That's because it's over here. Now, the reason I decided to put the LEHS Mark III suit to the side is theoretically you do not need the LEHS Mark III suit at all in order to go to Lantia. If you look at the map dictated by the Dayz interactive map I'm showing you above, you'll notice that there is a circle in Lantia. This little circle is where the portal spawns. Now in that circle where the portal spawns, there are red lines marked where the staircases or the little bridges from the portal room branch out to. If you cross those red lines, you need the LEHS Mark III suits in order to cross those red lines. So technically, you don't really need the LEHS Mark III suit in order to get to Lantia. But if you want to explore Lantia, then yes, you 100% will need the LEHS Mark III suit, the LEHS Mark III helmet, a working battery, and an oxygen tank. Alrighty, guys, so the first thing we're going to try and find is the Lantia Pulsar locator, which can be found at Phoenix, aka the oil rig. Alrighty, once you make it up the stairs, go ahead and make your way towards the middle room in the oil rig in Phoenix. Go ahead and search for the Lantia coordinate module in one of the room's shelves. Added bonus, you can actually walk up here and find a gun. The next optional item we need to find in order to get to Lantia is the EMAC flow controller, which can be found at Phoenix, Athena Research Institute, Athena 2, or BKLO1. When it comes to searching for the EMAC phased flow controller, unfortunately you can only find it in Lantia. Whenever it comes to putting the flow controllers into the console, you can either have no flow controller, the regular flow controller, or the phased flow controller. You can't have both EMAC flow controllers in the console. Of course, you have to have the NAC access card and the Lantia Pulsar Locator in order to go there, and the flow controllers are kind of an additive. However, there is an upside to using the EMAC phased flow controller. If you decide to go this route, it triggers a special event in Lantia that can only be observed using the phased flow controller. Whenever you travel to Lantia using the phased flow controller, that special event will occur in Lantia, but unfortunately it limits your time being in Lantia. With the other two options, without and with the regular EMAC flow controller, you could stay after the portal closes and you'll be just fine, as long as you have the LEHS Mark III suit. Unfortunately, if you stay after the portal closes when using the phased flow controller, you will 100% die. Once you've gotten all the things you need in order to go to Lantia, you're going to want to make your way over to Athena 2. Now, in order to go to Lantia, we first need a journey to Athena 3. In order to go to Athena 3, we need to go to Athena 2. Now, I hope you guys brought some form of night vision, or a headlamp, or a flashlight, or anything to see in the dark. Even a glow stick works, honestly. Because in Athena 2, just like Athena 3, it is pitch black. You cannot see a single thing. So make sure you have some form of way of seeing down there, because you're definitely going to need it. Once you have some way of seeing down there in Athena 2, you'll want to explore the facility and try and find a muon detector. Now what a muon detector does is once you throw a battery in it and turn it on, whenever an EVR storm is about to happen, the muon detector will let you know really early on in advance when that storm is about to happen. This is very important because whenever the EVR storm is about to happen, in Athena 2 on the 3rd floor in the control panel area, you'll be given an option to press the button to start the Flax reactor. Whenever you press the button to start the Flax reactor, what that will do is it'll essentially tell the portal in Athena 1 to, instead of spawning you somewhere random in the glaciers near the submarine, instead it's going to reroute that portal to spawn you to Athena 3. As soon as you press the Start Flax Reactor button, you're going to want to absolutely book it straight to Athena 1. Hopefully you have some epinephrine pins, because right now is the perfect time to put those pens to use. Now, personally, I'd recommend using roughly 2 epinephrine pins for the journey. Any more is perfectly fine. Anything less might compromise your journey there. You might actually miss the portal. In the clip that I'm showing above, I actually got attacked by 2 bears and a pack of wolves. I had to go to God mode for one of the bears because I ran out of ammunition, and I'm using an M4. But anyways, 2 epinephrine pins, and absolutely book it straight to Athena 1. Alrighty, so once you've made it to Athena 3, I'm going to go ahead and show you the layout of Athena 3 so you don't get confused. On the very bottom floor here you have is the entrance to the maze. If you make yourself all the way to the right and go up the ladder, you'll be met with the first floor. Now here on the first floor, it's just a simple floor. You have a couple of rooms with loot in them. If you keep going straight down the hall, you'll actually be met with the control room after the little bridge that is, of course. Here is the control room. This is where you'll be inputting all the necessary modules to go to Lantia. Here's a little machine that just kind of activates whenever you use the portal room at all. If you go back over here to where we climbed up for the first floor, you climb up the second ladder, you get to the second floor. Now the second floor is just the loot floor. Here you can find a wide variety of loot from VSDs to LEHS Mark III batteries and whatnot. It's just a loot floor, honestly. You're not going to find much other than loot. Anyways, moving back up, you'll eventually be met with the staircase. Once you go all the way up this staircase, this is the floor that you want to keep in mind because this is the most important floor. On this floor, you'll be met with the first couple of rooms, which is the loot rooms. There I am. Here am I giving you guys a heart symbol. Oops, gotta turn off night vision. If you keep going forward, you'll notice a couple more loot rooms, and you'll also notice the most important room. This is the portal chamber. So this large circle here is where the portal to Lantia will spawn. If you keep going a little bit further, you'll be met with these back rooms. Now, these rooms are also very important. That little glass area you saw before, usually oxygen tanks and batteries for the Mark III suit will spawn there. It's one of the most common spots for such items to spawn. And yeah, there you have the layout of Athena 3. You have your ground floor, your first floor, your second floor, and your third floor. Again, just to reiterate, first floor is where the control room is. Third floor is where the portal room is. There's also a little staircase here at the back of the second floor, I believe it was. That just leads to the little machine room. You can also climb on top of the machine. I wouldn't do it while it's active. You can get knocked out if you stand too close to it. And it just leads you to the first room control panel. Alrighty, so here are a list of different combinations of modules you can put into the Athena 3 control panel in order to get to Lantia. Notice how all three combinations require the NAC access card and the Pulsar locator. You need them in order to go to Lantia. It's final. Notice how with the regular EMAC flow controller and without any flow controllers, you can stay after the portal closes, but you need the LEHS Mark III suit in order to stay there. This includes the battery and the oxygen tank. And you'll find plenty of oxygen tanks and maybe even batteries whenever you go to Lantia. You'll even have a chance of finding the phased flow controller. Now, if you do decide to stay in Lantia after the portal closes, there's no way to get back. You better pray that you have a friend who's in Athena 3 to pull you back out, because that's the only way you can get out. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And there is a surge module at the very bottom of the chart, as you can see there. Throughout all the hours of testing that I performed, I did roughly 4 to 5 hours of testing. The surge module is just a random module that spawns in Athena 3. I believe it does spawn in other locations. Phoenix, I believe. It has no effect whatsoever on the portal duration, so you can include it in your trip to Lantia if you want to, but honestly, it's not going to really do much. Alrighty, now that you figured out which combination you want to go through with, go ahead and open your inventory near the control panel, throw in your NAC access card, throw in your Lantia Pulsar locator, and a word of advice, the NAC access card can have 6 uses before it's completely ruined. The Pulsar locator can be used 3 times before it's ruined. After you've thrown everything in, go ahead and press the Start Flax Reactor button, and your A3 will start up. Now, you have 2 minutes to go from the first floor control room all the way to the 3rd floor portal room. So don't worry, 2 minutes is plenty of time. I'll show you guys how to get there if you just watch this little segment I have. If you guys are planning to stay in Lantia after the portal closes and you're using the first 2 methods, I would recommend having a friend join you. So have a friend in Athena 3 standing by. player 1 can jump through, go to Lantia, portal will close, player 2 will just kind of chill in Athena 3. Whenever player 1 is ready to come out of Lantia, what player 2 will do is that he or she will just start the flax reactor again, just like we did, and you'll just jump through. Now, there are 6 or 7 different stages that the portal goes through, and I will explain those different stages and what they mean. It is very important because whenever you jump through the portal, depending on what stage you're on, you'll either make it back to Athena 3 or you'll end up in some random location in Namalsk. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump through this portal and make it to the final destination. And here is where you want to wait for the portal to spawn in the middle room. Welcome to Lantia. Something that I did want to mention real quickly is something known as link stabilization. So it's one of the stages that occur in the portal during its formation and during its lifespan. So there are 7 stages of the portal. Stage 2 is something that I want to emphasize on. Stage 2 is known as link stabilization, and it occurs at 1 minute and 32 seconds. So if you pass through the portal before 1 minute and 32 seconds, this is after you're already in Lantia, then you will spawn into Athena 3. But if you pass through the portal after 1 minute and 32 seconds, then you'll be teleported to some random location in Namalsk. Meaning, let's say the portal just appeared, you pass through the portal, and now you're in Lantia. The timer starts as soon as that portal appears and you're in Lantia. 1 minute and 32 seconds after that portal has appeared. After that time, you pass through the portal again, you'll be spawned in Namalsk. But before that time, you pass through the portal from Lantia, you'll be teleported back to Athena 3. Something that was a little bit complicated to wrap my head around, and it took me a while to come up with that number. But after a bit, I finally figured it out, and yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. Your link has went ahead and stabilized. And your link is lost. Alrighty, so to prove to you guys that you do not need the LEHS Mark III suit, you can see that I'm wearing some random ass clothes. I'm going to jump through the portal and cross over to Lantia, and you'll notice that I won't be dying. So the portal has spawned, and here I am in Lantia, and I'm doing just fine. I'm living. And I'm wearing random clothes. As long as you're within the red lines and the portal is still open, you'll be fine. You won't need the LEHS Mark III suit. I'll even take off my gas mask because there's no toxic smoke here, so you don't have to worry about that. And again, this is the red line. If you do not have the suit, do not cross that red line, because if you do, you'll start dying. You'll start suffocating because you don't have any oxygen, nor do you have a suit that can provide it for you. So if you want to cross over to Lantia without the suit, do note that you're limited by 2 things. Number 1, you're limited in the distance you can travel. That red line is the furthest you can go. Number 2, you're limited in the duration that you can stay in Lantia. If you use the EMAC flow controller, that's the most time you get. It's 3 minutes and like 5 seconds. Again, if you cross over, you'll start dying. If you're back inside, you're just fine. As soon as that portal closes though, you want to make sure you are back in Athena 3 or Namalsk, because if that portal closes and you don't have the suit, you're gonna die. Alrighty guys, so just a little side note I decided to create for you guys. This is the breakdown of all 7 of the stages that occur in Lantia. Do note that because there are 3 different combinations for going to Lantia, you know, one without the flow controllers, one with the regular flow controller, one with the phase flow controller, these different combinations will only achieve only to a certain step. So if you use combo 1 without any flow controller, you only get to stage 2, and then the link will lose. If you use the regular EMAC flow controller, you'll get to stage 3, and then the link will lost. If you use the phase flow controller, you'll get to stage 7, and then link will lost. But yeah, I just wanted to include this so that you guys get a detailed description of everything. Stage 2 is very important, so do keep that in mind. And yeah, let's get right back to the video. Go. And what you can do is you can eject yourself. This will allow you 30 seconds of time to eat. 30 seconds. So we're gonna go ahead and start a timer. We're gonna make sure it's on our hotbar here. We're gonna start a timer for 30 seconds, and as soon as you see the pill button, that's when you start your 30-second timer. I'm gonna go ahead and inject myself with the hyper-oxygenated blood. 30 seconds. Pressurize. Go ahead and eat. You're gonna lose a little bit of health, but don't worry about it. It's not gonna be too much. I'm at 22 seconds here. 23, 25. It's gone. And go ahead and repressurize. That's how the hyper-oxygenated blood works. Alrighty, so now we're gonna try the next card. We have our NAC card, a Lantia Pulsar Locator. And go ahead and throw in our EMAC flow controller. Turn it up. Alrighty guys, so the rest of this video from here on is just going to be showing you guys what it looks like to use the regular EMAC flow controller and the Phased EMAC flow controller. I'll of course stay behind even after the portal closes on both scenarios. If you guys are interested in watching that happening, go ahead. Do note that there is a special event for the EMAC Phased flow controller, so if you guys don't want to be spoiled and you don't want me to spoil the surprise of the event, then you can go ahead and just skip it. Again, huge spoilers from this point on. I haven't really showed you guys much of Lantia at all. That's because I edited all that shit out. I didn't want you guys to see it because I wanted you guys to explore it, because it's so awesome exploring Lantia, and I want you guys to have that first time, wow factor. So I tried keeping the spoilers to a minimum. But I do want to make sure that you guys have a very good understanding of the 7 stages of the portal. So, and of course, each different combinations, how it works with the portal. So if you guys are interested, then continue watching ahead. If not, this is honestly all the information you need. I gave you guys the stage information with and without the Lantia suit or the LEHS Mark III suit. Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of this video. Make sure you have your phone by your side, ready with the timer, and start your timers. We are now in Lantia. Well, for me, I've been to Lantia like 7 billion times, but for you guys, this is probably going to be your first time. Look at that. Loot hasn't respawned because I've been here like 3 billion times. Now, with the EMAC flow controller, you're going to have a couple more stages that you get to see of the portal. You have your stage 1, LOP activity. Let you know about the LOP activity roughly 30 seconds into your visit. A minute later, you'll get your link stabilization, meaning that you won't be able to go back to Athena 3 when you pass through the portal. Instead, you'll be redirected back to Namalsk, some random location in Namalsk. Alrighty, our link stabilization should be occurring here in 7 seconds. 2, 1, link stabilized. Another roughly 22 seconds, we should have stabilization failed. But don't worry, because the portal will not disappear. Remember, we threw in the EMAC flow controller, so our portals are going to stay a little bit longer. Our total journey, again, is going to be a total of 3 minutes. It's going to be like a little bit more than that. It's going to be like 3 minutes and like 5 seconds, but just take it as 3 minutes. All right, so you have your stabilization failed. And energy spike detected, and you're gonna have your LOP active. So this is what the EMAC flow controller does. It keeps the portal going on for a little bit longer. Portal does turn a bright reddish orange color. You're still completely safe to pass through the portal again. It's not gonna hurt you. It's not gonna do anything bad to you. But again, since this is after the link stabilization, you won't be able to go back to Athena 3. Since this is after link stabilization, once you pass through the red portal or even the gray portal, again, it's after link stabilization, you're gonna return back to Namalsk. Minute and 5 seconds, the portal is gone. Nowhere to be seen again. Right. Last but not least, we're going to try out the EMAC phase flow controller. This will enable you to last in Lantia for 7 minutes, but you cannot stay afterwards. Unfortunately, the EMAC phase flow controller causes a sandstorm to come, and if you are in Lantia after the portals disappeared with the EMAC phase flow controller and the sandstorm is taken over, you will die. There's no surviving it. Lantia as well. Make sure you're pressurized, get your timer ready as soon as the portal opens. Start that timer and jump through. And welcome to Lantia. I will keep a timer on the screen to show you guys how long you have. And of course, I will monitor each and every stage. All right, 30 seconds, you have your LOP activity. That is your stage 1. Alrighty, and now you have your stage 2, link stabilized. Now whenever you pass through the portal beyond this point, you'll no longer be able to make it to Athena 3. You'll be spawned in some random spot in Namalsk. Alright, you have your stage 3, your stabilization failed. Or I guess you have warning for your stage 3. Stage 3 is yet to come here in a second. Energy spike detected. And stage 3, LOP active. This is your EMAC flow controller pulling in. We saw a similar result with the regular EMAC flow controller. Do remember that this is the phased flow controller. You'll see the difference here in a second. Remember, with the regular EMAC flow controller, we only were able to stay in Lantia for 3 minutes. Alright, you have your stage 4. Your phasing phase. Your phasing phase. Your phased phase. Here in 10 seconds, we should receive our stage 5. There we have it. Stage, or prediction to stage 5. You have your tremors detected and your sandstorm inbound. This is stage 5, sandstorm inbound. We're 4 minutes and 23 seconds in. You still got plenty of time. Roughly 3 minutes. Remember, whenever you have your EMAC phased flow controller, you cannot stay in Lantia after the portal closes. If you do that, you will die. And not in God mode, by the way, so... At the 7-minute mark. Alrighty, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video and found it informative. I tried adding as much detail as possible. I do know that I threw a lot of information at you guys with all this stage nonsense, and I threw a bunch of times at you. I know it was a lot of information, but I want you guys to have an amazing journey to Lantia, because when it came to my journey to Lantia, I had to do so much research, and I had to go to Reddit forums, and I had to go through this and that and blah de blah. It was a pain to try and get the correct information. And I noticed that on YouTube there wasn't really a concrete tutorial video on this stuff. There were some videos, but they were modded servers. This is plain vanilla, all right, plain vanilla Dayz Namalsk. Actually playing a hardcore survival server, so it was exactly like this. So hopefully you guys found the I can't speak. Hopefully you guys found this video to be informative. Make sure to like, subscribe, and also follow my Twitch channel. And of course, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching.
I woke up in a new Bugatti.